Hey guys, today we're going to be having a look at attacking site executes with Omen on Ascent. So first we'll have a look at the A site. Because this entrance into site is quite thick, you can't really teleport from back here to get into site, you just get shot as you teleport in. So you kind of have to use a smoke at the entrance. So you want to be placing it about here, so it covers the whole doorway, but because it goes into site, they don't know if you're going to pop out this side, or come out the front. And also there's 4 teleports you can do from in here. So we'll just mark where this smoke goes to. So you can get to here, and once the smoke dissipates, I'll show you the teleports. So from this position in the courtyard, first one, you can get behind these boxes. And then peek out from this angle, and hopefully catch anyone off guard behind here or up in rafters. If you want to, you can actually smoke the top of this box, or around this box, and then you can jump up onto the box, or behind it here. But because this smoke doesn't really block a line of sight, it's pretty obvious your play, but from up here again, you could just do a second teleport onto rafters if you know rafters is clear and they're just in sight. A better smoke play, because it actually blocks line of sight as well as being somewhere to teleport into, is to put your smoke on top of this box on the left side as possible. So this one, anyone on rafters, their sight's kind of blocked for the whole of sight unless they come right to this side. And then obviously from this one, you can either decide to go up onto the boxes and again up into rafters, or you could jump down, or you could just teleport to the front. Another common anchor spot on site is behind the generator, so you can again use the smoke on top of the generator, like this, like that. So not only can you teleport into this, it also blocks line of sight from anyone playing behind it if they're holding the angle into A main, but also you can use it as a one-way, so if you come around this corner, you'll be able to see people's feet because you're a bit lower down than them, and they won't be able to see you. But again, I'll just show you it with the teleport. Like this, and from here you can either walk along, pick someone off this angle, or you can look down on anyone here. Also, from up here you can actually get under heaven, just like this. And then if anyone's behind these boxes, they might not be able to hear you. Another good combo for this, if you are planning on teleporting, because you can just teleport to the left side as well, just from the smoke cover here. But if you use your blind, you'll blind and deafen anyone behind there, allowing you to teleport here, and then push them easily, and they won't be able to hear the teleport, so you'll be able to catch them off guard. And the final teleport is one actually out of sight, so you can go into the tree area, like this, and then hopefully get behind anyone who's playing in this corner, or you can go up into rafters through this glass panel. Sadly, you can't actually teleport through it. I think it would be really cool if you could teleport through this silently, but you have to break it, and then obviously peek anyone here. If you're trying to just smoke sight, quite a nice double smoke is to put one on top of the generator, and one on top of these boxes. It doesn't quite cover the whole of site, but unless someone's playing in that position where they're very exposed, it should let your team enter site unless someone's holding from this side or from tree. These are just some nice smokes, but they don't really set up a teleport play. A few nice teleports to know for this site. First one is here. If someone's playing aggressively from A site, you can peek them from this angle, especially if your team's been making noise there. And then you'll be able to come over here, they won't hear the teleport, and you can again peek them, and they won't expect this angle. Very similar thing, teleport across this gap if someone's watching it. Say a Cypher from behind a generator, you're trying to wait for a one-way smoke, you should be able to peek out whilst they're watching it without the smoke up, and you'll be able to kill them because they won't know that you've crossed over. In a post-plant situation, you might want to use your teleport to get silently off heaven into sight, so you can get behind the boxes in sight like this. This works especially nicely if there's anyone in hell. Or you could say just put down a smoke in sight, and then they'll think that you're going to teleport into it, but instead you could just go into it, or you could go up onto the back box here. And then as this dissipates, they won't expect you at this angle, so you should have the drop on them. Next, we're going to have a look at taking mid. As Omen, if you're the only smoker on your team, you probably want to use at least one smoke in mid at the start of the round, just to try and get some map control. So the obvious ones are one here, blocks the line of sight from there to there, and one either here, or slightly further back, I'll go here. It depends how aggressively they're playing. If they're playing aggressive and they push past the smoke, it's obviously not very useful, so this is probably the best one, sort of most of the time. As you can take mid, you can teleport either side here. If you come here and someone's holding the angle from a market, you should be able to peek around the corner and you'll be able to headshot them as they say hold an operator angle. Obviously if this smoke's here, they're unlikely to be just holding an operator angle into the smoke, but still. So with this smoke, very similar to the one on A site, you can use it to either come up this side, and then only if they're right at the back they'll be able to see you if they're holding this angle, but if they're anyone in market you'll be able to come up here without teleport. Similar thing on this side, again you want to be careful of anyone in market, and then you can just push straight through, maybe with a flash, maybe your Phoenix flashes through, and your team can take mid like that. If you're using the slightly further down smoke, you could just teleport past market, like this. You just obviously have to be very careful of people rotating through this area, but if you get past and then come back, they won't be expecting you to come from this angle, especially if you say couple it with a blind, or maybe you blind like that and then teleport, because then anyone in this position will be blind, so they won't hear your teleport come through, and then you can push around. There's a few excellent teleports for mid. So the first one, right at the start of the round, if you come up onto these boxes, you're in cover from anyone down here, especially if they're holding the angle from market. You probably want to try and get as close to this wall as possible, but then if you peek them from this side as they're holding the operator angle down here, they will not be expecting you to be in this position, so you'll be able to kill them easily. There's a very similar teleport you can do onto this box. For this one, you want to use a falling smoke as cover. Make sure it doesn't land on top there. If you put it up here, and as it falls, teleport onto here. A little bit early there, but you can see the point, and then you'll be able to see anyone as the smoke dissipates, or you can just about see over there through the crack there. And again, this smoke can still be used by your team to enter mid like I showed you. There's obviously this teleport. Just be careful you don't get headshotted as you teleport up, but if they don't expect it or they're not holding the angle, you can use this to peek them, and you've got pretty good cover. If you know this area is clear, you can come off into these boxes, either get an angle down here, or you can even jump around. You wouldn't want to do that all in one jump, you'd want to land on the wall first, otherwise you'll take damage, but you should be able to get an angle on anyone if they're holding tight to this wall. And the final one is from this direction. If you can teleport up here, obviously you need this area smoked off, but then you can peek around this corner to get anyone holding right at the back here, and it's a very unexpected angle. They'll be watching for people coming through this gate, and not for people up here. And finally onto the B site. So, good smokes for this one, market. You can kind of cover both these with one smoke if you put it a bit forward, like that. Just about covers both angles, obviously a little gap there. These are some default smokes, but they don't really help you teleport from here. You can teleport into this corner, or just about onto here, like this, but obviously if there's someone in market holding this angle, you'll get killed. From this position, if you teleport here, you can then do another teleport to get here, and then obviously push around into site. If you want to do a similar smoke to the one I showed on A site, and mid as well, where you can pop it just out here, the best thing to do is to place it like this, so it still covers the whole door, but you can use it to walk around the corner and then get through here, jump through, and they won't be able to shoot you as you come through. You can actually place it slightly more this way if you don't mind leaving half of the door uncovered, and then you can sneak the whole way through. Just using this one to get into behind Jett and then into sight. If your plan is to go up onto the platform by market, the best thing to do is put a smoke sort of half in, half out the door. Actually, it's probably easy to see like this. Like this. So it still blocks the whole of the door, so they can't see. And if you want to get up onto this corner, you're blocked from anyone holding back there. Obviously, you still have to be careful if they're behind the shed. But from here, as long as they're not holding the angle from out here, you can then push through with your gun up and get kills on people. Or again, use the smokes like I showed. If you've managed to safely get across to this side, you can just teleport straight to behind the shed. And then if you want to be able to get down into sight without making any noise, because obviously if you jump down here, you're going to make noise, you can come from behind this wall. This works especially well if someone's holding this angle as well, and just teleport down behind the boxes in sight. Like this. And you're still covered from anyone there, unless they push right the way down, and they won't be able to hear you. Maybe use your blind the back of the shed just in case there's someone holding the angle from slightly further back, and then you can push around and hopefully get behind anyone, either holding from this angle or anyone holding the market angle. A few teleports for this site is you can obviously come up here. This is just an unexpected angle. You can do this in the prep phase even, and if they keep on aggressively pushing you from here, you can just shoot them as they come around the corner, as they won't be pre-aiming this area. Same thing with this angle. If they're trying to flank through mid, they just won't be expecting someone on this box. And I'm sure you've all seen where you put a sage wall here and then get on top of it, and then you've got an angle. If anyone's trying to peek that angle at the start of the round into mid cubby, you get an angle and then we'll be able to kill them. If you know someone's holding this side of the doorway, just teleport across and then you can peek them, or you can just go straight into sight like this and they won't know what's happening because they won't have seen you come across. If you know someone's behind the shed but they're not being aggressive with holding quite a passive angle waiting for you to come around, you can just teleport straight into the back. One slightly odd thing is you can't actually teleport onto the top of these from this side. If you're this side, you can come on top like this, but not this one, so that's slightly odd. But if you're holding, say, market, and you know that your back's clear, maybe you've got someone holding that angle, this can be a decent unexpected angle as Omen. And finally, a good falling smoke to cover you teleporting onto these boxes. You want it to be landing this side of the ramp, because if it's up there, it blocks line of sight after it falls. But if you do it here and make it fall like this, you can use it as cover. And then once it's full, you can see over it and shoot anyone here, and they won't be expecting you to be up here. And it still helps your team, because they can't enter site easily. They have to come out of the smoke. And anyone up here or in the back will be able to see them come out of the smoke and kill them quite easily. I've made Omen guides for Haven and Split. If you want to check those out, they'll be on the end screen. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.